everybody, and happy Monday. Oh, excuse me, happy Tuesday. Oh my gosh. This week is flying along, and I hope it's going good for you so far. This is your Tuesday motivation about how to retrain your mind from what's wrong to what's right. Well, here's the thing, guys, is that in life, you've got an organ that sits right in between these two ears, sits on top of your shoulders here, and it's your brain that's always looking out for everything that's wrong in the world. I mean, it's literally trained, and we could think back to when we're maybe living in caves or, all the way back, however far you want to go. We're always trained to look at the threats that are available. And so fear and this mindset that there's always problems around the corner are present. Well, what ends up happening is as helpful as that can be, because you don't want to go out there into a place where you're thinking to yourself, "Oh, I'm totally fine," and some bears right there, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I could get eaten by a bear," or something like that. You need your brain to tell you that, or you need your brain to tell you, as you're driving along, "Hey, you should slow down. You're going too fast." It's there to protect you, and it's there to help you from expending too much energy, and it's there to help you and protect you from making a mistake. And that's a good thing. But the opposite side of it is what happens if we get too carried away with always finding out what's wrong in a scenario. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The scenario in which you're always thinking, you know what, there's never enough that's right here. And I just don't seem to ever have enough. And that could be like money, and that could be friends, that could be, status, that could be whatever that is, right? And that's a scarcity mindset. Then there's also another sort of mindset, which is like this orphan sort of mindset. And we use that word simply just in psychology is about this idea that I'm alone and that I don't have those around me. And so I feel unfathered and unmothered in a certain scenario. And so what ends up happening for us is we feel like, I'm alone and no one's there for me and no one's around for me. And I'm going to be, left there in whatever situation that I'm in. And so you're constantly trying to find and like validate this fact for yourself of all of these problems that are around in the room or in your atmosphere in your life. And this other one is this idea of this rejection mindset that, I'm never enough. I always have to prove myself. I always have to, show up and perform to this highest level in order for others to see me and accept me, or even for me to accept myself. And all these mindsets show up in our life. Why? Because we're constantly used to finding what's wrong. Now, again, I'm no psychologist in any way. All I am is a student of people, because I'm constantly in the coaching business helping people kind of work through problems in their lives. And I see the same problems show up time and time again. I see, sales professionals who get into the business and are like, I need to sell. And I'm like, what is it that's driving you? And you kind of drill down and it's like, well, I got to prove myself here, right? Or you know what, there's never enough. And it's like, hey man, you're selling $200,000, $300,000, worth of income coming into yourself every year. Is that enough? It's like, no, it's not. So what is it? Well, my encouragement to you today is it possible to retrain and rewire your mindset to find what's good? There's a common phrase that said, it's like, what's bad is always available, but also what is good is always available too. And so what is it, what would it be like if you were able to say to yourself, I am enough, or there is enough, or things are good and are working out in my favor, or the world is slanted towards me in my favor. We use these as affirmations, and they're present in everyday life, but also in the sales world. And so if you're a sales professional who's constantly in the ups and the downs of meeting with people and thinking that you're going to be able to make a sale, and then all of a sudden it pulls out from underneath you, or you go to meet somebody and you have a great experience and you make an offer with somebody and then it doesn't get accepted. What's bad always seems to be available, but what's good is always available. I was able to nurture a relationship with someone. I was able to actually get another client for myself. Someone was able to say that you're the professional for me. And once we start to change the way that we look at things, the things around us start to change. That was it was called a bold law at a brokerage that I was a part of. I absolutely loved all of these bold laws that they used to have. And one of them was this: it was change the way that you look at things, and the things that you look at will change. And the idea behind this is if I can start to change my perspective on the way that the world is happening, now all of a sudden for myself, now I can see the positives in all of those things. I start feeling the positives and I start releasing that positive as well into my business and into those interactions that I'm around. You know what it's like when that person's coming up to you and they're always mopey and they're like, you know what, here's what's wrong, here's what's bad, this person's sick, this person went through this, did you hear about this? And it's just like garbage coming out. And you're like, I don't want to be near that. Like it doesn't feel good. And for the sales professional, here's the opposite. It's not fake, nothing's wrong. You can be real about things in the world, but when you start to look at the positives of what's happening and the positives of what's happening in your life, now all of a sudden you're able to get into this mindset of like, wait a second here. Nope, I do have good clients. I'm thankful that I was able to submit an offer on a property for them and I was able to find something for them. Like that wasn't a fit for us, but good's coming down, right? Like I am going to find the perfect house for them. I can speak out that I know in the positive, affirmative into the future, good things are going to happen for them in their lives. Like I know for myself that I'm always going to have enough. Like I'm going to show up and I'm going to do my part, but behind me is all goodness, and that's going to show up into my business. Now that might sound kind of like flighty and flaky or really faith-based or whatever it is, and I'm going to tell you it is. It is faith-based. It is on this idea that you believe that better is going to happen even if you just don't see it in your hands. And what I want you to see for yourself this morning on this Tuesday at 9 o'clock is you do have good in your hands. List what's good. If you've watched this video, put something in the comments about what's good in your life, and let's start that chain going. Have a great day, everybody.